So how am I gonna get by these two? Yeah, I know. That's a good idea. Thank you. And with that, welcome back to HD Racing. I know I'm kind of late to the party with the Formula 70 series, but I did have this race kind of late in the week and also didn't have much time to make a video out of it, but I really wanted to show you this. The Formula 70s are fun, and this race also was kind of interesting and also funny in moments, you'll be able to see. And yeah, so sit back, relax and enjoy this one. I'm, by the way, taking the McLaren, and from what I've seen, the Ferrari seems to be the go-to car. It seems to be very strong, maybe too strong, who knows. Balancing in these Spec series sometimes is a little bit off, but yeah, I was just trying to get some nice racing done. It wasn't really about winning in this one. So starting P10, qualifying did go kind of okay, but I feel like the track got faster. I did get my time in quite early, and a lot of people were doing a lot faster times. Maybe I'm just slow. But here in the race start, I was really surprised how well the first corner went. But the luck didn't last, and someone did turn in as I was on his inside, and well, I did get spun around, sadly. Which means we are now at the back of the field, and I even cut off someone who is like even farther behind, also probably had an incident, and yeah, I was still trying to get the car back under control because with dirty tires it's a little bit difficult to drive. And as you'll be able to see, a lot of people are gonna have difficulty driving these cars. I think they are a little bit easier to drive than the Formula 60s cars were, but they are still quite a handful, and you'll be able to see I also struggle in this one, as this guy goes into the barrier quite quickly, but I outbraked myself here. Like, I kind of panicked and pushed the brake a little bit too much and blocked up the wheels, and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, maybe I should have put on ABS for this one, would have probably not been the worst decision, but yeah, I kind of like racing without, and that sometimes then leads to what you did see here, that I was, well, kind of struggling and looking at my wheels. But yeah, we find ourselves back in P22 right now, and now the goal is to catch up. And don't worry, we'll be able to do quite a bit here, as I said, because some people in this race are also struggling quite a lot, and well, we have 9 laps overall to go. Here I was super lucky that the guy who rejoined the track did ghost at the last second. I was already seeing myself crashing into the back of him. That would probably have been the race done. But yeah, for some reason this time the game was kind of kind to me, and well, I was still in this one. We're gonna jump ahead 1 lap here, and I'm now in the 3rd one, and yeah, I did take the whole 2nd lap to catch up to the back of the field, but am now caught up is the right one, I think. English is hard sometimes. But yeah, definitely now quite a big group of cars ahead, and I now need to try to make myself or make my way by them. And well, here's the incident you saw in the beginning. I was thinking about how do you want to do this, and they decided for me to just yeah, make room, and that was kind of nice. And you can see even more carnage in front, 2 people off the track in the gravel. They're gonna have a hard time getting all of that one. And we are already in P15 after like 2 corners here. Like, what was it, 6, 7 places? It's kind of ridiculous. But I think from now on it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to, well, catch up and then overtake. But there is gonna be some interesting stuff happening. Did you see that? Let's take a look at that one again in slow motion. Look at this cone. I think it hit me in the helmet. Really nice aim from the guy in front. He hit that cone just the exact amount. I'm not quite sure how that was then able to go towards my car, but well, it happened, and that was kind of interesting. I've never had that before, but yeah, it seemed to bounce off my helmet, and I'm fine, no concussion, so it's all good, and we are still going. And yeah, for this race, as I said, it was all about trying to keep it together and try to not make any more mistakes. Cutting ahead here to the end of lap number 4, and I was already caught up to P13, but yeah, struggling a little bit through some of the corners, and especially when you're behind someone and trying to find an opportunity to overtake. Like here, I was hoping that I would be able to, well, I am getting alongside, but then I brake kind of late and go very wide for this corner, and then struggle a little bit on power, and he did get a good line on the inside and is still ahead. And at this point I was like, okay, I think we will need to pit anyway. And since it's 9 laps, we could do another one and then pit, but I was like, I'm struggling to get by this guy in front, so let's just pit right now and try to do some sort of an undercut, I guess. So that's what I did try here. We come out of the pits in P18, but I know there are still quite a lot of people in front who will need to pit like in 1 or maybe 2 laps tops, because you probably won't be able to bring these tires to the end. These cars, once again, like the Formula 60s, don't have race tires, but just they are called stock tires. I think it's just the tire component that was used back then, or some derivation of that. I think, I'm not quite sure the implementation in Forza, but these tires definitely have better properties than just normal street tires, but are also a little bit more difficult to drive than the normal racing tires we are used to from the modern cars. But these cars are fun. They are fast, they have good acceleration, but you really need to be careful. As I said, not as bad as with the Formula 60s, but definitely you need to be careful on throttle, because even in a straight line, sometimes just the power kicks in and the rear wants to spin around. So you need to be really careful with both throttle and then also counter steering. But yeah, that's how these cars will drive in Forza Motorsport at the moment. And yeah, I think they are kind of interesting. Here getting on the inside, and actually like maybe a little bit reckless, but I was just putting the power down and hoping that I would get by him, and managed to do that. So we are finding ourselves in P14 right now. But as I said, there are some people still who will need to pit. So we are right now, as I put 2 wheels on the grass on accident. That happened a couple of times because for some reason in this view I felt like the car was ending sooner than it did, but these tires are huge, so yeah, definitely need to take care there. And overall, after all the pitting done, I think at least most of it, we are finding ourselves in P11, and well, now it's about, well, catching up to these guys in front, who are definitely doing a little bit better than in the back of the field, but still there were quite some incidents for sure. But I felt like once you got more towards the front of the field, the driving was a little bit more, well, better and safer, I guess. And it was some very interesting racing going on. You can see here, trying to find an opportunity to go by this guy in front, and again I think I did brake a little bit too much and had a little bit of a lock up, go wide, and luckily he either saw that or was just luck, but he did avoid me, so that we didn't have any collision there. Yeah, definitely was a little bit sketchy, that move that I pulled there, but yeah, these cars, driving these cars definitely takes a lot out of you. You can see how much I have to counter steer all the time. You really need to be on your toes, and I felt like without traction control, I think I wouldn't have stood a chance in this one. I think you can do this without traction control if you're really good on your throttle control, but like I'm nowhere near that, so I keep it on for this one. And then at some point here, it's the second to last lap, I don't know what was going on in my head here. I think I was braking a little early and then turning in early, and well, just kept turning instead of being like, okay, just keep it a little wider. And no, I just went over all that off track, and well, 1.2 seconds I guess is kind of fair for this one. As I said, no idea what was going on, but yeah, as I said, this race was kind of straining, like both in terms of like physical, with all the counter steering going on. You really have to work for these cars with the steering wheel, and also just mentally, because you really need to be super focused if you want to keep these cars on the road and still go fast. You can see I'm definitely struggling and drifting around this corner way too much. By the way, that's not fast, and really struggling to keep it under control here, but luckily managed to do just that. And we are now in the last lap. I am at P10 and catching up to the two guys in front, but since I have that penalty and also they are still like at least a second away, it's gonna be difficult in this last lap. So yeah, I think from what happened in the beginning and where we are at, I think it's still a good result, and I was kind of happy with the racing itself. So yeah, still would have liked to be able to do a little bit better, but was not supposed to be in this race, sadly. By the way, I know that there was quite a lot of Barcelona in the last couple of videos, and I'll try to make sure to include some more other tracks in the future. It's just my reference track, and the track guide is there, and well, just this race happened to be on Barcelona. I know that it's quite a lot of that, and you probably are getting sick of the track, so yeah, I'll try to make sure to get some other tracks in. As I, by the way, in the end, for some reason, still with I think a little bit of counter steer, managed to go on the gravel, maybe overdid that a little bit, and yeah, still managed to finish in P10, so at least that was that. And you can see all the Ferraris in the front. I think they are quite strong in this one. Yeah, the Spec series is not here anymore. As I said, I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm quite sure this one is gonna return. Same with the Formula 60s. I think these are series that they are gonna use again in the future. At least I hope so, because they are fun for sure. So let me know what you think. Did you also try these out, and how did it go for you? Did you have fun? And well, just let me know if you want to see anything else in terms of both Spec series, Open series, or something else. I would really love to hear from you. And with that, just if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do so. And other than that, thank you a lot for watching. I've been HD Racing. See you in the next one.